welcome to episode 5 of the season 2 of Young Ones. And of course, we are doing this in partnership with the FOI Youth Ambassadors Program, or the Freedom of Information Youth Ambassadors Program. And let me get on with it and introduce to you our co-host for season 2, Training Specialist 3. I always say 2, so it's 3 pala, no? Okay. Daniel Echeverria. Hi, Daniel.
Hello to all the young listeners of Young Ones. And thank you, Miss Jada, for having me for the entire episode.
For the entire season, Daniel.
Yes,
thank you so much. Sorry. Yes, for the entire season. And of course, I'm eternally grateful. I'm eternally grateful to, of course, to Sec Chris Ablan for this one, for sharing you with me, for lending you with me. And he's lending more people today for this episode. Because this episode, we are going to talk to young entrepreneurs. Yes, they're still young people, maybe fresh out of the pond, fresh out of college, right? And we've been talking to Daniel for the past 4 episodes. Now we'll get to know more about the people inside the Freedom of Information Office. And they're also, of course, they're also in charge, or of course involved in the FOI Youth Ambassadors Program, right, Daniel?
Yes, they're also involved.
And the beauty about this episode is that we are going to talk to them. They're doing FOI work, right? But they're also very entrepreneurial. Okay, so we are going to talk to them about their side hustle, which we're going to ask them later on if it was inspired by the pandemic or if it was a pre-pandemic kind of business. So we'll know more about that later on. So Daniel, why don't you introduce our first guest?
So our first guest would be the Communications Branding Head of Freedom of Information Project Management Office. And she's the owner and designer of the Great Unknown clothing brand. So we'll have here Miss Kate B. Refendor. Please say hi, Miss Kate.
Hi guys, I'm Kate Refendor. So as mentioned by Daniel, I'm the owner and creator of.
It's nice to see you again, and it's nice to see you in a different light today. Okay, now our next guest is a videographer and an editor for the FOI-PMO. She is the owner of Black and Brews. Oh, I love this one because I love coffee. Andrea Malabanan. Hi, Andrea.
Yes, hello po. Good morning, Miss Jada. Hello, Miss DA and Miss Kate.
Miss DE and Miss Kate. Talaga, may mga miss. All right. So, Daniel, why don't you throw the first question?
So, I'll try to deliver it without sounding like a bank. Please tell us about your business. Kate will go first.
So Great Unknown PH is a clothing brand that started just last year, September. So pandemic talaga. So Great Unknown, which is Subarashi Michi in Japanese, that means to look for greatness into something that has yet to be discovered. Wow, ang lalim.
Ang dami!
So yun.
Wow!
So also shout out din pala kay Pearl for helping me in translating it into Nihongo. And of course, it was already checked by our kapwa Japanese. So the meaning naman daw talaga makes sense. So Sugoi, ayun, the brand actually is for streetwear, and then eventually just found out that it can also be not just a streetwear. Ayun. So for all naman yung Great Unknown PH.
Not just for people who are walking down the street, pwedeng sumasakay ng LRT, MRT, nag-drive ng sedan, nag-office. Oo, nag-aaral, ganyan.
True.
Okay, si Andrea naman. Si Andeng.
Yes po. So my coffee business po was launched din po last year. It was during pandemic din po when I decided to push it through. Since po lahat nag-shift na into digital or online na, so nagkaroon po ako ng time to work on it because of work from home arrangement. It's called Black and Brews po. It is actually a pure Kapeng Barako grounds, originally from Batangas, since Kapeng Barako is one of the famous products here po sa Batangas po.
So you're from Batangas, Andrea.
Yes po, Miss Jada.
That's
So
why
proud
they call you
to be the
Andeng.
Yeah. Yes po.
Okay, now that we know that you started your businesses during the pandemic, we would like to know, how did you find out that you have a business acumen pala? Parang, wow, I can do. What brought about? How did you discover that you have a business acumen? Si Andrea muna.
Siguro for me, from planning and preparing to introduce my product po. Kasi from time to time, you have to learn po you have to study more and research more about the product that you want to promote or you want to sell. Kasi hindi po kasi parang basta benta lang po, di ba? Especially when you have a plan to make it big in the future. So yun, parang from then po, parang I have a lot of discoveries po na ay kaya ko pala, may skills pala akong ganito na kaya ko pa pong improve. So dun ko po na-discover na parang may ganun po pala akong skills na kaya ko pala po mag-business.
Wow, okay. Parang ano siya, when during the pandemic, like mid-year, at the beginning, or towards the end of 2020?
2020 po, na mid-year, I think. Then
Mid-year 2020.
Yeah po.
How about you, Kate? How did you discover that, wow?
Thing is that kabaliktaran naman ako ni Andeng kasi it just snapped one day that I want to have a business nung COVID. Kasi I also learned that if you are creative and you really love your concept, everything will just continually flow. And I never expected myself to be an entrepreneur actually. So nag-design lang ako, and then one day I found out that I want this to be a merch, and then I tested several prints on the shirts, and then ayun, dumireksyon na sa production and everything. Ayun. So mabilis ang pangyayari for me.
I guess it was meant for you if ganun kabilis yung pangyayari. Okay, I woke up, I have a business. I have a merchandise business. All right, Daniel, let's ask the next question.
So, we're curious, why did you pick this particular business? Parang di pa naman na-mention eh. So, we'll start with the Kate.
Okay. So, why did I pick this business? Last year when the COVID pandemic struck, I was so obsessed in buying locally made shirts, hoodies, and stickers, and merch. And I think a lot of online stores stood up when it comes to the content and design and concept last 2020, which made me so impressed and eventually got so inspired with it that I made my own brand. And then from there, everything was just so fast, especially if you really know what you want to produce and sell. And for me, that was minimalist design, shirt and hoodies. Yun talaga yung target ko from the start pa lang.
Yun. For Andeng naman, aside from being a Batangueña, so why this Black and Brews?
Or a coffee addict.
Yeah.
Yes. Of course, syempre po, pansin nyo na love po natin talaga yung coffee. Yun yung first reason.
Yeah.
But for me po kasi, coffee is not just only a product po eh. Parang coffee is also a story, or sometimes a rest, or a bond with your family or with your friends. Or sometimes it's also about expressing our thoughts, our feelings, or madalas naman po, coffee is our partner in everything that we do, di ba? Especially when we are working. Parang minsan ito yung magpapaalala sa atin na, oy, may kailangan ka pang tapusin, may kailangan ka pang gawin, yung ganun po. So parang, I think that's the reason kung bakit ko pinili yung magmo-motivate sa'yo to achieve more of your goals po in life. Yan.
Yes, walang alone sa coffee. Lalo malamig pa naman ngayon, Miss Jada. So, kailangan talaga natin ng Black and Brews coffee and sweatshirt from the Great Unknown. So,
my hoodie!
True!
Yeah, ayun.
Bili kayo ng hoodie.
Bili talaga ako no? Hindi na magbigay itong si Kate. Bili ako yan. Promise.
Papadalahan kita, Miss Jada.
Yay! Yes. Pero bibili ako. Online yan, no? So, si Andeng, your coffee, from what I heard from you, nangungusap yung kape. ni Andrea.
Yeah.
Okay. So, tama yung sabi ni Daniel. Perfect yan for this stormy season kasi, it's gonna keep you company. It's gonna keep you warm. Okay. You know what, Daniel? It seems like, business is going smoothly for Andrea and for Kate, but we have got to ask this question. If there are any obstacles lang, what obstacles did you encounter since you started your business? Apart from the pandemic, well, or something related, if it's related to the pandemic, just give me one that stood out the entire time that you're doing your business, starting with Kate.
Okay. So for me, yeah, madaming obstacles nga akong naranasan. But for me, it was identifying my target audience and customers. Kasi I was so hooked and excited nung nag-release ako ng merch and clothes that I produced that I really haven't focused on that one thing which was super important, which was my consumers. So I actually seek the guidance of my friends din that were entrepreneurs. So shout out din sa Payak PH, si Ate Mush. She really helped me with giving advice. Yeah, Payak PH, guys. So, ayun, sabi niya na she made some good points on identifying my customers, the tone and messaging. So you can't just throw out your products without really identifying the tone that you want for your products.
True.
And then, of course, yun yung capital, yung pera. Siyempre, money will always be a factor in starting a business. Ayun.
So what did you learn from, overcoming these obstacles, Kate?
For targeting the audience, actually right now, alam ko na streetwear brand ako because before, di ko alam kung anong klaseng damit lang to, basta
loungewear, pambahay.
Yeah, so
like
it is for people who are minimalist or they just want hoodies, yung mga ganun palang tao. So gusto na talaga nila ng mga ganun. Ayun, and then for the money, you just really have to allocate specific sa mga production kasi sobrang nagulat din ako na may gantong gastos pala for the production and for the delivery and for the kaya madaming ka matututunan about business talaga.
Andrea, let's hear from you. Obstacles and the lessons that you learned from it.
Siguro po for me, time management and yung distance po ng Batangas and my work in Manila. As an owner who has another job in Manila po, of course, I also don't want to neglect my responsibilities and my work as a video editor, di ba po? It's
course not. You're very important.
Yes, because I'm gaining experience and I learned a lot from it. But yun nga po, parang but right now naman po, Miss Jada, parang manageable naman po siya. Parang I learned to be more organized and nababalance ko naman po yung time ko as video editor and kapag po nagdi-deliver or nag-organize po ng mga kape ko sa province po every weekend kapag umuwi po ako. So yun, kailangan mo lang talaga siyang itama dun sa schedule mo yun. So yun po yung mahirap kasi yung distance po from yung Batangas and Manila. Hindi po kasi lagi nakakauwi. So yun po, lalo na hindi po okay pa ngayon ganun yung biyahe. So yun po yung challenging part po ng ng business niyo po.
Daniel, what's our next question? Yes.
So yun yung business talaga na bago din yung lifestyle ni Kate and Dan. And especially running a business in the middle of pandemic. So based on your experiences, what are your expectations from doing your businesses? So do you want to go big or go? So maybe expand it or keep it in a manageable size. So parang nag-hint na kanina si Andeng, pero we'll start with Kate again.
Of course, we should always go big. So right now, all I have is around 800 to 850 followers on Instagram. But of course, eventually, I envision Great Unknown to be known. Ayan.
The Great
So
Known.
sana, in the future, the Great Known. And then in order for me to achieve that, I have to establish my brand muna. So of course, I have to prove to my customers that I sell high quality products with nice looking clothes, with great packaging. Because really packaging really makes a good impression on people, and then it
True.
makes them buy it more. Kaya yun. So establish muna. Surely, slowly but surely.
Yes, slowly but surely.
I totally agree with Kate about the packaging because there's so many unboxing videos that people are doing, not just celebrities, but people, they put it online. So you want people to see that you have good packaging, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some
Nagiging
people
bait yun sa
even
mga tao.
yes,
That's
some
true.
people even make content out of unboxing. So if maganda talaga yung
True.
packaging ng brand, parang may drum roll effect pagbukas pa lang. So yun pa lang may impact na sa customers. So
And they
yun na
open it
naman,
carefully, di ba?
yes, Miss Jada,
Mm.
keep talaga yung packaging. So si Andeng naman.
Yes, of course. We'll make it big in the future. So, yun. Parang excited na ako. Sure. A lot of entrepreneur po, di ba, started from the bottom, and I'm one of them dreaming that it will become larger and stable in the future, because one of my vision or one of my objective in this coffee business is not only for myself, not only for the people who are helping me now at this moment, but also I also want to help our coffee farmers in Batangas.
Here's the next question. How has this experience of entrepreneurship influenced you and your job in the FOI office? Okay, are there any changes, or for example, your values, did it change? Did it add on? Did it subtract from that? And your behavior and your general perspective in life as an entrepreneur in general? Andrea first.
Yes. Sobrang laki po ng factor ng FOI, my experience in FOI sa business ko, since learning ako learning ako ng skills from yung designing, mga ganun. So na-apply ko siya into my business po, and managing this business really helped me a lot po. I think I also become more organized and professional in terms of talking to different kind of people, like meeting my suppliers and meeting our customers po. So ang dami-dami ko pong natutunan yun po, from designing, planning, producing to deliveries, meeting a lot of people who loves coffee. So I think this progress motivates me to yun nga po, achieve more pa po sa business po.
It made you become I guess know more about
Yes.
about the world out there, because you're not just limited to the offices of the FOI and your house. Kasi FOI bahay.
Yes,
Wow, it rhymes pala, no? FOI bahay. So now meron ng Black and Brews. FOI, Black and Brews, and then bahay. And then back again. Okay, Kate.
I would have to agree with Anding nung sinabi niya ng time management. Kasi FOI, sobrang fast-paced ng work namin sa FOI. And then, ito nadagdagan ng business. So, ayun, I felt the struggle at first of being a one-man team sa Great Unknown. So, from design to logistics to computations, talking to people, and then delivering pa. So, sobrang kailangan mo talagang maging mapagmata sa time mo, na kailangan mong i-separate yung work to your personal business. Kaya yun, ang binabalance ko, yun, time management nga talaga. And then of course, having this business made me more independent. It really takes a lot of work, and it also boosted my confidence as well. Kasi before, I can't even present my personal designs to people, and now I sell them and people buy it. Thank God. Binibili naman nila.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Personal growth naman yung kay Kate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, confidence and all. Believe in yourself. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're down to our last question, and Daniel will be the one to ask.
So, Ms. Jada, marami talaga tayong natutunan from Kate and Andeng. Kasi yung businesses nila, hindi lang na-affect yung client dahil sa products that they sell, but also the entrepreneur behind it. So because of that, we would like you to provide a message, like inspirational message to young people who are now struggling with their businesses, as well as those who still want to start their own. So we'll start with Kate.
Alright, so sa mga listeners natin dyan and sa mga may balak magtayo ng sarili nilang business, ang advice ko lang is if one day you'll realize that you want to be an entrepreneur, just like me, na nag-snap lang one day. So as much as exciting as it can be, make sure that you would have the drive to pursue it for the long run. Because having a business is no joke. Na kailangan ma-sustain mo siya. Kahit tamarin ka sa gitna, pero mapapagpatuloy mo pa rin siya. And you will spend a lot of money for it. Ayan. So you really have to think about it and be persistent about what you're gonna do with your business. Ayun lang. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Well said.
ending naman.
For me po kasi, Miss Jada and Miss PA, ito po yung pinaka-challenging na part and this is what I have learned establishing my coffee, Black and Brews. You have to start, di ba? If you're planning to start your own business, from the very start that you were thinking, that you are planning, brainstorming, di ba? You don't have to stop or stuck on that part of the process because we all know it's all part of the process. Kasi you really have to execute them all into reality. Kasi once na launch mo na siya, parang no one can stop yun eh. Tuloy-tuloy na po yun eh. And if you are a business owner naman po and still struggling, siguro po ang ma-advise ko lang is don't ever give up. Syempre po, lahat ng business po siguro kakambal na yung struggles, yung difficulties, challenges, di ba po? Siguro wala pong improvement kung walang challenges, di ba po? Para po sa akin. And as long as you love what you are doing, you'll cope up and everything will be fine po. So yun lang po.
So thank you so much, Andrea and Kate. So this is the time for you guys to do your shout outs. Like say hello to anybody you need to mention, you feel like you need to thank. Yeah, shout out time. Let's start with Andrea.
Oh yes po, syempre shout out po sa FOI family, FOI TV prod and review prod, and of course to my family, Malabanan family, Evangelista family, and to Mr. Ian, Evangelista, and sa lahat ng kasamaan ko sa Black and Brews Coffee, Jeremy Ruben, to my mother and sa father ko, and to my brother, John Joseph Malabanan yun. Thank you for helping me doing this business. So yun, maraming salamat po.
Yee! More power to you, Andrea.
Thank you po.
Kate.
Ayun, I would like to give my shout out to first to my FOI family, especially to our boss Yusek Luis, who never ending nagpo-promote ng Great Unknown PH sa radio. And then especially sa CCDD family, to my creatives team, shout out sa inyo guys. And then please follow Great Unknown PH sa Instagram. Ayan, so you can still buy our shirts, our hoodies. Ayan, so thank you very much, Miss Jada and Miss Daniel, for having us here.
Thank you so much, Kate and Andrea, and more power to you. Order ako sa Instagram, follow ako dun. Daniel, any special announcements that we have for our young ones from the FOI Youth Ambassadors Program Office?
Okay, so FOI is also for business owners. So FOI helps entrepreneurs like Kate and Andeng make informed decisions in their enterprise. So I invite everyone to please browse and request information from foi.gov.ph. So we have their DTI agencies like Department of Agriculture, and for you to know, just browse it. So it's foi.gov.ph ambassadors, or interested FI student ambassadors from state universities and colleges. So please follow all official social media pages of Freedom of Information, and of course, tune in to Young Ones Season 2.
Yay! Thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you so much, Kate and Andrea, the great unknown in Black and Brews. And Daniel, I will see you in the next episode of Young Ones. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Young Ones PH. And of course, keep on liking and keep on following Republika FMO Manila on Facebook, Republika on Spotify and YouTube. And always tune in to Republika 875 FM1.
The Radio Republic of the Youth, Republika FM1 brings you Young Ones Season 2 in partnership with Freedom of Information Philippines and the FOI Youth Ambassadors Program. Young Ones. Wednesday nights only on Republicast, on Republika FM1 Facebook page, Spotify, and YouTube.